The quantum detection alarm blared through Station Omega, buried 2 kilometers beneath the Nevada desert. Captain Kira Winters jolted awake in her quarters, her augmented neural implants already feeding her tactical data before her feet hit the floor. The date was October 15, 2157, and humanity's greatest fear, or perhaps its greatest opportunity, had just materialized in high Earth orbit. Captain Winters to Command Center immediately. General Harrison's voice crackled through her neural link. The urgency in his usually stoic voice told her everything she needed to know. This wasn't a drill. Kira's enhanced muscles carried her through the titanium-reinforced corridors at a sprint, her midnight black hair streaming behind her. Other personnel pressed themselves against the walls as she passed, recognizing the look of a phantom operative on a priority mission. The neural augments humming beneath her skin made her one of the most lethal weapons in Earth's arsenal, but today she had a feeling they might not be enough. The command center's massive doors parted with a hydraulic hiss. Inside, the scene was controlled chaos. Holographic displays showed a massive vessel, unlike anything human engineers had conceived. It hung in space like a crystalline dagger, refracting sunlight in ways that seemed to defy physics. Captain. General Harrison's weather-beaten face bore the weight of 2 decades defending Earth from threats both terrestrial and theoretical. Now theory had become reality. What I'm about to tell you is classified beyond your current clearance, but circumstances demand exception. The general waved his hand, and the holographic display shifted to show a deep underground facility in the Atacama Desert. 3 years ago, we discovered something that rewrote everything we thought we knew about our planet's history. A quantum crystal matrix buried deep within the Earth's crust. Our scientists barely understood its potential, but they recognized its power signature. He paused, letting the implications sink in. The same power signature we're detecting from that ship up there. Kira's augmented mind processed the information rapidly, connecting dots that would have taken others hours to align. They're not here by accident, she stated, her enhanced vocal cords giving her words a slight resonant quality. They're here to retrieve something. Precisely. Harrison's face hardened. But that's not the worst part. The crystal matrix we found. It's not just a power source. It's a key to something that could reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. And now they're here to claim it. Through the reinforced windows of the command center, Kira watched as more ships emerged from what appeared to be tiers in the fabric of space itself. Their crystalline structures seemed to pulse with an inner light that defied conventional physics. Your mission, Harrison continued, is to infiltrate their command vessel. We need to know their true intentions, their capabilities, and most importantly, he paused, bringing up another holographic display showing complex energy patterns. We need to know if they're aware of what's buried beneath the Atacama. Kira's augments processed the mission parameters, calculating success probabilities and potential approaches. Sir, with all due respect, we're talking about an alien vessel with technology centuries beyond our own, even with my enhancements. That's why we've prepared something special. Harrison led her to a secured chamber adjacent to the command center. Inside, suspended in a containment field, was a suit of armor unlike anything she'd seen before. It seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal, but with crystalline structures similar to those of the alien vessels embedded throughout its surface. Reverse-engineered from the artifacts we found in the Atacama facility. It's keyed to your specific neural pattern. With this, you might just have a chance of moving through their ship undetected. As Kira approached the armor, it responded to her presence, ripples of energy coursing across its surface. She could feel her neural implants resonating with it, reaching out to establish a connection. "One more thing, Captain." Harrison's voice grew grave. "If they are here for what we think they are, and if they know its true potential, we cannot allow them to leave with it. The fate of not just Earth, but possibly the entire galaxy, depends on this mission's success." Kira placed her hand on the armor's surface, feeling it begin to meld with her augmented biology. As the suit interfaced with her neural systems, new sensations and capabilities flooded her consciousness. She understood now why she had been chosen for this mission. Her extensive augmentations weren't just an advantage, they were a necessity for interfacing with this hybrid technology. "How long do I have?" she asked, watching as the armor continued to integrate with her systems. "The alien fleet is holding position just beyond lunar orbit. Intelligence suggests they're conducting preliminary scans of Earth. Best estimate, you have 48 hours before they make their move." Harrison handed her a quantum-encrypted data core. "Everything we know about the artifacts, the crystal matrix, and our theories about their true purpose, it's all in here. Study it en route." As the armor completed its integration, Kira felt power unlike anything she'd experienced before coursing through her enhanced body. The alien technology merged seamlessly with her human augmentations, creating something entirely new, a bridge between two civilizations that didn't yet know they were about to clash. "I understand, sir." Her voice resonated with new harmonics, the armor amplifying her already enhanced capabilities. "I won't fail." As she strode toward the hangar where her stealth shuttle waited, Kira couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't just embarking on a mission to protect Earth. She was about to uncover secrets that would reshape humanity's understanding of its place in the universe, and perhaps change the course of galactic history itself. The weight of that responsibility settled over her like a familiar cloak. She had been engineered, trained, and prepared for moments like this. But as she boarded the shuttle and began pre-launch procedures, even her augmented mind couldn't predict the incredible journey that lay ahead, or the choices she would have to make when she discovered the true nature of humanity's alien visitors. The alien mothership loomed before Kira's stealth shuttle, its crystalline surface refracting starlight in hypnotic patterns. Her hybrid armor responded to the proximity, sending cascades of data through her neural network. The ship's structure wasn't just beautiful, it was alive, in a way human technology had never achieved. Kira's shuttle drifted silently through the debris field surrounding the massive vessel. The aliens had brought along their own small asteroid field, presumably for mining or protection. It made for perfect cover, but also meant navigating a lethal obstacle course. Her augmented reflexes guided the shuttle through gaps barely wider than its hull. The scan data from her armor revealed what human sensors couldn't: quantum resonance points across the ship's surface. Nodes where the crystalline structure thinned, creating potential entry points for someone with the right technology, like the experimental suit she now wore. Point of no return, she whispered to herself, engaging the shuttle's automated return protocol. The small craft would wait at a safe distance, ready for extraction, if she survived long enough to need it. Kira activated her suit's quantum harmonization field, technology reverse-engineered from the Etacom artifacts. Her form shimmered, taking on the same crystalline properties as the ship's hull. The transition felt like being submerged in liquid lightning, every atom of her body resonating with alien energy. She launched herself from the shuttle, the armor's propulsion system guiding her toward the nearest resonance point. As she approached the hull, instead of crashing into it, she passed through like a ghost. The sensation was indescribable, like diving through layers of reality itself. Inside, the alien architecture defied human logic. Corridors shifted and flowed, geometric patterns morphing in response to some unseen purpose. Her armor's translation matrix struggled to make sense of the alien script that floated in the air like luminescent smoke. Focus on the mission parameters, she reminded herself, letting her augments filter the overwhelming sensory input. The quantum crystal matrix signature they detected was strongest somewhere near the ship's core. Getting there undetected would be the real challenge. Movement caught her enhanced peripheral vision. Alien crew members, tall, crystalline beings that seemed more energy than matter, passed through intersecting corridors. Their forms rippled with colors that her neural implants interpreted as communication. Her armor automatically adjusted its harmonic frequency, rendering her virtually invisible to their perception. But she couldn't shake the feeling that on some level, they sensed her presence, like a discordant note in their ship's crystalline symphony. Deeper into the vessel, the architecture grew more complex. Rooms defied Euclidean geometry. Spaces folded in on themselves in ways that made her augmented mind struggle to comprehend. But through it all, that signature from the ship's core pulled at her like a beacon. Then she saw it. A chamber that her sensors identified as a data archive. If she wanted answers about why these beings had come to Earth, that would be the place to start. The archive was unguarded, but Kira's instinct screamed caution. Nothing this important would be left unprotected. She conducted a thorough scan, her armor interfacing with the alien systems. The security wasn't based on barriers or locks, but on quantum resonance patterns. Only beings attuned to specific frequencies could access the data. Fortunately, her hybrid armor was designed for exactly this kind of challenge. She adjusted her harmonic signature, matching the archive's frequency. The crystalline surfaces around her responded, patterns of light forming into what her translation matrix interpreted as an interface. What she discovered in those alien records shook her to her core. The beings called themselves the Luminary, and they weren't here to invade. They were searching for something they claimed was stolen from them millennia ago. The quantum crystal matrix in the Atacama wasn't just a power source or a key. It was a fragment of their species' collective consciousness, a piece of what they called the star heart. But that wasn't what made Kira's augmented pulse race. According to the records, the star heart hadn't been stolen by ancient humans. It had been hidden on Earth by a faction of Luminary themselves, rebels who believed their species' evolution into pure energy had been a mistake. They had left it there as a failsafe, a way to restore their physical form if their transformation proved unsustainable. As she processed this revelation, a new frequency rippled through the chamber, an alarm. Not the blaring kind humans used, but a subtle shift in the ship's crystalline resonance. She had been discovered. Kira spun around, her enhanced reflexes ready for combat, only to find herself face to face with a luminary unlike the others. While most of them were tall and purely crystalline, this one appeared more solid, almost hybrid in nature. Like her, it seemed to exist between states of being. "We have been waiting for one like you," it communicated, not in words, but in pulses of light that her armor translated. One who bridges the gap between flesh and light. The being identified itself as Orxel, a descendant of the original rebels who had hidden the star heart on Earth. "Your presence here is not an accident, Kira Winters. Your augmentations, your hybrid armor, all of it was guided by what we left behind." Before Kira could respond, the chamber's resonance shifted again. More luminary were approaching, these ones definitely hostile. Arxel's form flickered with urgency. "You must understand the truth before they find you." Arxel pulsed rapidly. "The star heart is not just our past. It is the key to both our species' future. And now you, With your unique nature, maybe the only one who can help us reclaim it. Kira's mind raced, processing the implications. Our mission had just become far more complicated than a simple infiltration. She wasn't just caught between two species, she was caught between two visions of evolution itself. And somewhere far below, in the depths of the Atacama Desert, the object both sides sought pulsed with power that could reshape the very nature of consciousness in the galaxy. Crystalline footsteps echoed through the quantum corridors as Kira and Arxel fled deeper into the mothership's labyrinthine interior. Her hybrid armor synchronized with Arxel's energy signature, allowing them to phase through walls that would have blocked pure organic or pure energy beings. The ruling council deceives our people, Arxel communicated through pulses of light. They claim the star heart will complete our evolution, but it will actually strip away what little physical form we have left. They emerged in a vast chamber that defied physics. Streams of pure energy flowed upward like reverse waterfalls, carrying data and consciousness between the ship's levels. Kira's neural implants struggled to process the impossible geometry. Why? She asked, her armor translating her thoughts into luminous patterns. Why pursue evolution that leads to extinction? Arxel's form flickered with what her translation matrix interpreted as bitter amusement. Power. In pure energy form, the Council believes they can expand across the galaxy instantly, exist in multiple places simultaneously. They will become gods in their minds. A squad of luminary guards materialized at the chamber's upper levels. Kira's augmented reflexes kicked in as she grabbed Arxel, diving into one of the energy streams. The sensation was like being torn apart and reassembled at the quantum level. They emerged 17 decks below, in what appeared to be an ancient archive. Here, unlike the sleek modern sections of the ship, the crystalline walls held physical records, artifacts from when the Luminari still existed, primarily in physical form. Your hybrid nature is no accident, Arxel explained, moving to a central pedestal. The rebels who hid the star heart knew that pure organic life could never safely handle it, and pure energy beings would be corrupted by it. We left markers in human DNA, guideposts for your species' development. Kira's augmented mind made the connection. The quantum crystal matrix we found, it wasn't just power source. It was changing us, guiding our evolution. Precisely. Arxel activated the pedestal, and a holographic history of both species filled the chamber. Your neural augments, your ability to interface with our technology, all of it was shaped by subtle influences from the star heart's presence on Earth. The display showed the original Luminary rebellion, the flight to Earth, the careful hiding of their sacred artifact. But it also showed something else. Predictions of what would happen if the Council succeeded in their plan. Total energy conversion wouldn't just affect our species, Arxel explained. The process would cascade through spacetime itself. Organic life throughout the galaxy would be forced to either evolve or perish. Kira watched in horror as the simulation played out, entire civilizations vanishing in waves of forced quantum evolution. How do we stop them? The star heart must be. Arxel's response cut off as the chamber's resonance shifted violently. A new presence had arrived. High Counselor Vix materialized in the center of the room, her pure energy form towering over them. Unlike Arxel's subtle luminescence, she blazed with barely contained power. Traitor, she addressed Arxel, her communication patterns so intense they made Kira's armor crackle. You would doom our species to remain trapped between states, neither flesh nor energy, neither mortal nor divine. I would save us from extinction, Arxel countered. From becoming so pure, so perfect that we cease to exist as conscious beings at all. Vix's form expanded, filling the chamber with brilliant light. The human must not leave with this knowledge. The ascension cannot be prevented. Kira's combat augments engaged automatically, analyzing patterns in Vix's energy structure, looking for weaknesses. But how do you fight a being of pure light? The answer came from her armor's deepest protocols, functions she hadn't known existed. The hybrid technology wasn't just for infiltration. It could channel and redirect quantum energy itself. As Vix launched her attack, Kira moved with augmented speed. Her armor absorbed the High Counselor's energy blast and refracted it through its crystalline matrix, splitting the beam into harmless spectra. Impossible. Vix's form fluctuated with shock. Unless you've already been touched by the Starheart's power. She is what we hoped for, Arxel declared, living proof that there is a middle path between flesh and light. Kira felt her armor resonating with both beings, bridging the gap between their natures. In that moment, she understood that she wasn't just fighting to protect Earth. She was fighting for the future of consciousness itself. The Starheart doesn't belong to either of our species, she realized aloud. It's not a weapon or a tool for evolution. It's a bridge. But before she could explain further, the chamber's quantum field collapsed. More council forces were coming, dozens of them, their combined energy signatures threatening to overwhelm her armor's capabilities. Arxel moved to the chamber's center. You must return to Earth. Find the heart before the council does. I will hold them here. They'll destroy you. This form, perhaps. Arxel's light pulsed with determination. But ideas, like consciousness itself, can never truly be destroyed. Go. Kira's armor responded to her desperate need, enveloping her in a quantum field that would allow her to phase back through the ship's hull. The last thing she saw was Arxel facing down an army of light, buying her time to escape with knowledge that could save both their species. As she emerged into the cold vacuum of space, streaking toward her waiting shuttle, Kira knew the real challenge was just beginning. Somewhere on Earth, the Starheart was waiting. And now three forces would vie for its power: the Council, the Rebels, and humanity itself. The question was, could she find it first, and more importantly, could she unlock its true purpose before it was too late for both worlds? The Atacama facility's quantum shielding shimmered under the desert stars as Kira's shuttle made its final approach. Her neural implants were still processing the massive data cache from the alien archive, but one thing was clear: they had precious little time. General Harrison met her in the underground hangar, but something was off. Her augmented senses detected elevated stress patterns in his biometrics. "Captain Winters," he said too formally, "I trust your mission was successful." Behind him, Special Forces teams moved into position, their weapons trained on her. Her armor's sensors detected quantum dampening fields activating throughout the facility. "How long have you been working with the Council?" she asked quietly. Harrison's face hardened. "Since they first contacted us 3 years ago. Evolution is inevitable, Captain. The Council offers humanity a chance to ascend alongside them. To become beings of pure energy, to lose everything that makes us human. To become gods." Harrison signaled his teams. "The Starheart will complete both our species' evolution. Now, stand down and let us finish what began millennia ago." Instead of surrendering, Kira smiled. While they'd been talking, her hybrid armor had been interfacing with the facility's systems based on the same quantum technology she'd now mastered. "Arxel sacrificed himself to give me time," she said. "I won't waste it." She struck like lightning, her augmented reflexes and alien technology working in perfect harmony. The quantum dampening fields reversed, trapping the Special Forces teams in stasis. Harrison reached for his weapon, but she was already past him. The facility's deepest vault lay ahead, and within it, humanity's greatest discovery, and perhaps its greatest threat. The Star Heart hung suspended in the vault's center, a crystalline structure that pulsed with colors beyond human perception. As Kira approached, her hybrid armor resonated with its power. Behind her, alarms blared. The Council's ships had begun their descent, and Harrison's betrayal had left Earth's defenses wide open. Beautiful, isn't it? High Counselor Vix materialized in the vault, her energy form even more brilliant than before. The key to perfection, to transcendence beyond mere physical form. It's not a key, Kira replied, understanding finally flowing through her augmented consciousness. It's a choice. The Starheart's pulse quickened as she touched it, establishing a connection through her hybrid systems. In that moment, she saw the truth that both the Council and the rebels had missed. The artifact wasn't meant to force evolution in either direction. It was created to maintain balance, to allow consciousness to flow freely between energy and matter, spirit and flesh. The ancient luminary rebels hadn't hidden it to prevent ascension, but to preserve the possibility of choice. Vix launched forward, but Kira was ready. Her armor channeled the heart's power, creating a quantum field that merged both their forms of existence. In that shared space of consciousness, Vix saw what Kira had discovered. We were wrong, the High Counselor realized, her energy form flickering with understanding. All this time. Above them, the Council's fleet hung in Earth's atmosphere, ready to begin the forced evolution of all organic life. But they hadn't counted on the heart's true power, or humanity's capacity for adaptation. Kira interfaced fully with the Star Heart, her hybrid nature allowing her to unlock its original purpose. Waves of quantum energy pulsed outward, not to force evolution, but to enable choice. Throughout the fleet, Luminary felt their connection to physical form restore itself. On Earth, humans experienced heightened consciousness without losing their organic nature. The barrier between matter and energy, flesh and light, became permeable, but not destructive. This is what the rebels intended, Kira explained to Vix. Not domination by either path, but freedom to choose. To exist as pure energy, pure matter, or anywhere in between. The High Counselor's form shifted, taking on a semi-physical state similar to Rixel's. We forgot the joy of having a choice, she admitted, of experiencing existence in all its forms. In the days that followed, both civilizations began to explore this new reality. The Council withdrew their fleet, but not in retreat. Instead, they established diplomatic relations with Earth, sharing knowledge and technology that would help both species navigate their shared future. Kira retained her hybrid nature, becoming a bridge between worlds. The Star Heart remained in the Atacama facility, not as a weapon or tool of evolution, but as a symbol of the boundless possibilities when consciousness is truly free. And somewhere, in the quantum planes between energy and matter, she sensed Argzel's presence, not destroyed, but transformed, watching over the future he had sacrificed everything to protect. The heist that began as a mission to steal an alien artifact had become something far greater. A revolution in consciousness itself, and a reminder that the greatest treasures are not those we take, but those we choose to share. The end.